I think we're on. We are on. Okay, everybody, welcome to DVTV in Space. It's Friday, June the 9th, 2017.
It's Friday. Remember that song? Terrible song, but it's what I always think of when I hear
Thanks for that. But welcome to Pride Month and Friday.
Ew, happy Pride.
Yeah, all month long.
Happy Pride.
So we got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of stuff going on this week. First of all, if you're driving on I-30 between here and Fort Worth, check the news before you go. There's a bad accident there that had the highway closed down.
Yeah.
Some crazy people or person in an 18-wheeler.
Yeah, I think somebody hijacked the actual 18-wheeler truck and was ramming ramming people behind them, and it was a car chase. Both sides of I-30 were
Ended
stopped.
up in a wreck at Cooper.
Yeah.
In a fire.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Oh my God, I didn't know it was all that.
Yeah, all that.
Girl,
Yep.
all that. More.
Wow. Okay.
So
It's 'cause he heard the
check
Trump's
before you get on
press
the highway. Okay. Back to TV news. All right. First thing we want to talk about today is the 10th, and so no, today is the 9th, isn't it?
Yes.
Or is it 9th? I don't know. Today is the 9th. That means Monday will be the 12th, and that is the 1-year anniversary of the shooting at Pulse nightclub in Orlando.
And can we show the cover? Because the cover
Yeah.
pays homage to
The cover is
them, and
absolutely. This is probably one of the best, I think, covers.
all of these are the victims.
Those are the names of the people who died. Yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cover.
I won't call them victims. Let me take that back. These are the people who died.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good cover.
We have. I'm not sure if we have it up yet, but at some point we're going to have a picture flash that's our cover laid over a montage of all of the faces of these people
wow.
who passed. It's a really cool image that our company president put together, Terry Thompson. So that'll be, all I can see is green, y'all, so I'm not sure when it's up there, but hopefully it'll be up there at some point, because Shannon, that I always call Nathan, is going to fix it.
I don't know why. He doesn't really look like a Nathan.
I know, but I don't know why. It's Nathan. But
He
back
looks
to
like a Rufus.
Good Sue Rufus.
Yeah.
Rufus. Now that's what I'll call him. Back to the Pulse. On shortly after midnight, right around 2:00 on Sunday morning, June 12th, last year, 2016, a man walked into the nightclub armed with a semi-automatic rifle, and I don't know if he had other weapons, and opened fire. He killed 49 people that night. More than 60, I believe, suffered some sort of injury, but survived that evening. And of course, I have no idea how many people were there in all, and there was almost a police officer killed because he was hit. His helmet caught the bullet an inch lower, and he would have been dead too. So I choose not to say the name of the killer, the gunman, because a lot of times these people
Do it for the fame.
Yeah.
do it for the fame. They're going to go
Yeah.
out in a blaze of glory, so everybody will remember their name, and I'm not going to help that happen. So we're not going to
Good.
talk. We're not going to say his name.
I am 100% with
I
you
am
on that,
too.
and I wish the media would do more of
I
that.
agree.
I think if you look, it's happened a lot, especially regarding this. In this week's paper, in this week's Voice, David Taffet has written a story that kind of tells you a little bit about where things stand now, a year later. Some of the survivors are a couple of very sad stories. Was a young man named Chris Broadman who survived that night. He was in the club. He got out. I don't believe he was injured. And within a few months, he died. He had some sort of health crisis and died. He had a number of things that were wrong, and unexpectedly died unexpectedly.
And you can read that story, and I'm sure others, on page 8 and 9 of this issue of the Dallas Voice.
And then I remember, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And there was a young woman named Jackie Sevilla, who she plays for the Orlando Anarchy. It's the women's football league team there, and she and her friend, I think her name was Paula Blanco, and Paula's boyfriend were at the club that night. Paula's boyfriend was shot and killed. Paula was injured. Jackie Sevilla, stayed with her, used her legs, wrapped her legs around the girl's arms to stop the bleeding, and then carried her out of the club when they were able to get out. And they survived, but Jackie Sevilla was killed recently in a car accident just a couple of weeks ago. So the list of victims you have these people who were killed that night, who died from their injuries there. You have people who were victimized in a lot of other ways. But that's one of the things I wanted to get you guys to talk to me a little bit about, was how we as a community were victimized by this. I mean, we don't live in Orlando. That's hours away from us. Well, but it had an effect.
It completely and totally had an effect. And I know that it was extremely a direct effect on me, because my wife works at JR's, which is a nightclub, bar and grill in the neighborhood. And when she came home that night, it was just jarring in the sense that could have been anywhere. It could have happened in our community. It can happen anywhere. And the fact that even in 2016, we're still not safe in our own spaces because of these ideas of our life, of who we are, of who we're being. And it was shocking, and it was also, though, extremely beautiful to see the next night the community come together and see, I've got chills, like the people that came out on the Strip to march, and Dallas stand strong with Orlando. I've never seen so many people get together in that instant than I did the night after that happened. And the roses that were laid on the oak lawn, it was just a beautiful moment of really how connected we all are, even though geography separates us.
And it also brought back a new, in a way, generation of people coming out, because now this wasn't, some random something like that didn't relate to them.
Yeah.
It was a gay nightclub that any of them could have been at.
It was an S4. It was any. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it brought them out as well, because now they're like, oh, it can happen to us as well. Something like this, because that was pretty extreme. And isn't it like the biggest?
It's the deadliest mass shooting in modern American history by a single gunman.
Now, when it happened, I know on Facebook, I have completely right-wing conservative friends on Facebook. Not that I would ever hang out with them, but I just like to see what they post so I can call them out on it.
Keep an eye on the crazies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, I remember one of them, excuse me, his name is Warren, about 6 kids, super, self-proclaimed Christian, but he kept posting these links from websites saying, now, if you see where they're taking out these victims and taking them to the ambulance, if you look in the background, they're going toward the Pulse. They're not taking. They're almost like saying this didn't really happen. It's a setup. Mm-hmm. They're just trying to make a statement. These people didn't really die. And I was like, wow.
I'm sure he believed the Holocaust didn't happen either.
Probably. I mean, unless it pertains to him, it didn't happen, and he's going to doubt anything. And that's what I kind of dealt with. That was is me going out there and trying to research what that website is, figuring out, oh, these are just pretty much gay hating people that have created a website, and that's what they're posting. And that's kind of what I dealt with. I mean, of course, I was affected by that, but that's what I...
That's what you remember. You were talking about your wife working in a bar, and that's a frightening thing.
It's a very frightening thing.
And I work for the gay newspaper, and our office is, our address is there. It's not hard to find us.
And I worked at the resource center too. I think I was still working at the resource center at that time as well, and so I think any person who is working in an LGBT focused community or group or business felt that fear. I really feel like they felt a little bit more trepidatious going into work the next day. But then you also felt more community. I know that we gave a lot of hugs. I hugged strangers, when I was sitting at the bar, because
I do that.
You do know that all the time. But we really embrace this whole idea of loving each other, like what Michael was saying in the previous show, loving each other regardless. And so I think if any...
And especially for us, because a lot of them were Latinos.
Yes,
that's true. It was Latino night at the club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My wife was terrified for me to go back to work. She didn't want. She's like, y'all can't leave the door unlocked. We
Yeah.
have to leave the door. You can't leave the door unlocked.
Yeah.
Right,
have
and you
to
guys
leave
are
it.
an LGBT newspaper. What you say does make a difference. People pay attention. If somebody,
Yeah,
You
like
know,
if
been
and
through
if
it.
you
You
didn't
know,
go
I'm
to
sure you
work the
guys-
next day, then that kind of sets a precedence.
You
know,
can't
like
do that,
you
yeah.
can't do that. You
Right.
can't live your life in fear. But I do think that they've made some changes. Like I know you can't take backpacks in anymore since Orlando happened. You can't take backpacks in anymore to any of the clubs like JR's or S4, TMC. I know any of the Cabin clubs. I'm not too sure about any of the other ones.
well, along those same lines, has anything been done with gun laws at all? Any nudge, anything because of that happening?
that's another topic.
Because I remember we were all rallying together saying, "Oh, now they messed with our community. Oh, we're going to make changes."
Yeah.
People are still fighting it, but the people in power are not. One thing I want to bring up, when this happened, you were talking about, oh well, it's all fake. The guy put the deal. We had the preacher in Fort Worth who was going on YouTube saying they deserved it.
That's right. I remember
There were
that.
people all over. Oh, just a bunch of faggots. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. They deserved it. Okay, this is a year later. Okay, what was it last week when Rainbow Lounge burned? Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
On
yes.
Facebook, I saw a screenshot of someone's post where it said, because it happened at 3, and they're like, too bad it didn't happen a couple hours earlier. So it's there. This stuff hides, and it's not hiding anymore.
But see,
it's out in the open.
But see, that tells me something right there. My gut tells me immediately that that person's gay because I didn't even know what time it happened. And that I wouldn't think of that. Like, okay, the Pulse shooting happened at 2. This was at 3. I wouldn't do that. A gay person would.
No. Everybody knows what time a bar closes, and this was all over. You don't look at the news. That's you don't know what time it is because you don't pay attention.
I'm just saying. I
But-
bet. And if it wasn't somebody gay, they don't know they're gay yet. Yes,
latent homosexuals.
exactly.
Israel believes everybody is a latent homosexual.
Me too. Everybody's at least a little bit gay somewhere
Homosexual
along the line.
tendencies, yeah.
All right, the clock is beeping. We have to take a break. So we'll be back.
You do. It's like
Welcome back. We were talking about Pulse and the anniversary of the shootings there. Now we're going to go on to what's happening this weekend, this year. And in Washington, D.C., they have make sure I get this right, Equality March for Unity and Pride, or Unity and something. Equality and Unity, and we're marching. And they're doing this in Washington, D.C., and they hope to get a lot of people up there. They're trying to model it, though, after the Women's March in January.
Gotcha.
So we have a national march happening in D.C., but there's a lot of people who can't go, so let's do marches around the country. And if y'all remember, in January, I think there were marches around the country that were larger than D.C.
Mm-hmm.
D.C., I was in D.C. Fucking amazing. But I hear it was amazing everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to do here. I don't think we're going to see the numbers.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't been, most people I'm hearing from say it's not been well organized in terms of promoting it and that it's going on and getting people there.
As long as it happens. As long
Yeah,
as it's gonna
I
happen.
agree.
As long as
it
it's not 5 gay boys running down the street in sequins
There's
by
nothing wrong
themselves.
with
Why not, Tammy?
No.
Why
But
not?
we would like to have something other than gay boys in sequins.
Tammy's opinions do not reflect my own.
Okay, that's very true, as we found out during the break. However, we do have marches going on here in North Texas, Fort Worth, there's a march that begins at 11 a.m. at the Tarrant County Courthouse, 100 East Weatherford Street. That's just off the square downtown. And go march, show your pride, and then go down and have some good tacos. There's a great taco restaurant down there. There's a Dallas event. It's organized. The Fort Worth is being organized by Tarrant County Gay Pride Week Association, a coalition of different organizers. I know that Daniel Scott Mullins Spencer, I think it's his married name, Daniel, who's been around forever, and Cannon Brown, who's with Stonewall Democrats. They, as individuals, are helping organize this, and they're just a couple among many. It begins at 7 p.m. with a rally at the Resource Center at 5750 Cedar Springs Road, and then everybody will march down Cedar Springs Road to the Entertainment District, probably to the Legacy of Love Monument.
Awesome.
Well, you know, when you're naming all of those people, I'm just wondering, where do they meet up to discuss what they're going to do?
A lot of this is
events?
organized via Facebook, online. They
Okay.
talk on the phone, they text, they know each other.
Because I want them to know, excuse me, I would donate studio time in the event room or any of our conference rooms if it's for anything like this. I hope they all know.
I don't think
Come
they do,
here.
but we will know that now.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll
Yeah.
know that now.
Come here, we'll
I love
donate
you a
the
little
time.
more now.
I'm doing that just because Brandy hates me right now.
He's just doing that so he doesn't feel bad about taking Donald Trump's movie
Exactly.
money. Also, in Dallas, on Sunday, there is, this weekend in Dallas, there's it's called Men Having Babies. It's a nonprofit organization.
That's
They're
so
having
cool.
a conference, a surrogacy conference and expo. It happens tomorrow and Sunday at the Wyndham Dallas Park Suites, or Wyndham Dallas Suites Park Central,
So are they saying men can have babies now?
through surrogacy.
Oh, okay.
Do you want
other
kids?
options, adoption and...
Well, you know, I've tried to inseminate as many men as possible, but it doesn't happen. I'm still trying, though.
Keep working on
Keep
it.
working on
Okay,
it.
so it's
One
through a
day,
surrogate.
yeah.
Okay, that's different.
But
That's
they
different.
you register for this conference. It's about how men who want to, gay couples especially, who want to have biological children. They can work with surrogates to have biological children. But on Sunday, they and the Dallas Voice and Rainbow Roundup, which is a family organization, LGBT family organization, they are sponsoring. They're calling it the Family Reunion, and they're having that from 3:30 to 4:30 at the hotel. As their way of coordinating with the marches that are going on around the country.
Nice.
Austin Pride Queer Rights ATX will have an equality event at the Texas Capitol from noon to 4. If you're out in Texarkana or around that area, they're actually having a march in
I love
Texarkana.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. That we should
Yeah.
go to those
Wait,
because those
the
are
smaller ones. I
yeah,
agree.
12
I
are
agree.
the numbers.
12:30 p.m. at the corner of Laurel and Broad Streets. That's on the Arkansas side, and then they're going to march downtown to the post office on
That's
the Texas
so
side.
awesome.
And all of this is this weekend?
All of this is Sunday.
I
And
know.
in Abilene, advocates for equality are invited to meet at Oscar Rose Park, 2601 South 7th Street at 1:45 to participate in the Pride Sidewalk March there.
I love that. I
And-
love that there's all these things happening.
You know, I'm open, Brandy, especially you, to organizing something here at Spayse Studios to celebrate June Pride Month. We should
I'm
do
totally
something
down. I'm completely. I will work with you, even though we don't share the same opinions. This is how you bridge. This is how you make connections. This is how we will survive.
I think we should all join hands and sing
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
here.
Lord.
No, and we'll sing "I Will Survive" by Gloria Gaynor.
Oh no, but Tammy doesn't like sequins, so.
Oh, that's right.
I love
She's
sequins.
against sequins and gay boys. She said she hates them all.
Not sequins left over from the night before, brought out into the light of day on a Sunday with the makeup
Those are
that's
the best
smeared.
kind.
With the makeup that's smeared. Put on a good face, girls, when we're going out in public.
Yes.
All right.
And put on lashes.
There is this is Pride Month, and right now I can't think of anything we need more in Texas than a big old dose of gay pride.
I agree.
Yes.
Big
And
old
that's-
dose of queerness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, because we kind of want to show, Greg Abbott and whiny little Dan Patrick that we are here, we are queer, and you cannot get rid of us with
Yeah.
bathroom bills or anything else. And that leads up to the fact that Greg Abbott, our beloved governor, this week announced on
Praise
Tuesday,
Jesus.
Praise Jesus, announced that we will be having a special session,
Yeah.
and that bathroom bills, which we managed to get away from, we managed to stop them in regular session of the legislature, but it's back on the agenda. I will say this, it is way down the agenda, and they have some very important state business that has to happen. But, I mean, the reason this is important state, but they have, you know what a sunset bill is? Sunset? They're agencies that conduct state business. Texas Medical Board. You have to be licensed to practice medicine and through this medical. Well, these agencies are set up to expire ever so often, and then they have to be renewed. It's called sunsetting. I think there were 5 agencies that were sunsetting this year that they needed to reauthorize, and plus they wanted some property tax reform. We may not necessarily agree with their plans for property tax reform, but they wanted these are important state business bills, and Dan Patrick and his cronies on the Senate and the House managed to
Throw that.
stonewall all of that. I'm going to read this. I found this today.
Of course they did.
This is a story from the Dallas Morning News, written by Brandy Grissom and Lauren McGaughy. It came out yesterday's paper. As a key deadline to pass bills out of the Texas House approached last month, a small group of ultra-conservative legislators ensured the demise of a measure that would have prevented the shuttering of several state agencies, the sunsetting agencies. In a text message to a lobbyist, Representative Kyle Biederman, a member of the self-styled House Freedom Caucus, said Patrick called the group and asked them to stall long enough to keep the bill from passing. The bill's demise would all but guarantee lawmakers have to return to Austin for a special session, giving Patrick another chance to pass far-right proposals like the bathroom bill that he'd unsuccessfully promoted.
Sneaky.
Do you have any? I don't know why this. There's hundreds of thousands of dollars that we have to spend on a special session because Dan Patrick's whiny little ass threw a temper tantrum and blocked vital legislation, state business legislation, because the Texas House of Representatives, as a majority, would not pass his
Right. They said no.
discriminatory bathroom bill.
Better things to talk about and do.
And here's the kicker. They have all the Abbott as governor has to be the one to call a special session, and only he can set the agenda. But he put the sunsetting agencies, property tax reform, and all these other little things, and bathroom bills is down here. They have to do all this before they can do this. It starts July 18th, and it can only go 30 days.
That's a lot of time, though.
Texas, they had how many months?
Yeah, that's true.
And hopefully we can avoid it. They can call another session after this one. But
I keep thinking, with this studio, I would love to make a little PSA, 1 minute long, of having transgender people, female to male and male to female, and them saying, I'm transgender, and then having, let's just say, like a male to female, they say that, and then they walk into the men's room, and then big butch burly man who is female to male says, I am transgender, and he walks into the women's room and then say, this is if you vote yes, this is what you're getting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Something like that, because you need visuals. I know a couple of years ago that when they first started passing this, this nonsense of the bathroom bill, there were pictures that transgender women were taking in the men's room, and then the opposite. I don't know why that didn't catch on more.
Yeah, like it didn't go viral.
Right,
In support of the cause.
Bathrooms make people uncomfortable. The whole idea, I think, is just people are not going to show pictures of people in the bathroom. People are prudish, and then might make them.
Well, I mean, it showed them not using the bathroom, just standing
just walking
there.
in and being like, "This is do you really want your men around me?"
Well, I think we need to make it local. We need to shoot it here in Dallas and just pass it on to Austin and Houston.
I love that, especially in here. That's a really good idea. Like we have time.
Yeah.
Also, one thing that's important to note about this, Senate Bill 6 was the one that Patrick got Lois Kolkhorst to introduce in the Senate, and it would regulate, bathrooms, transgender people using public restrooms. But Abbott is calling on a bill similar to one that was introduced in the House that not only would govern bathroom use, but would repeal local ordinances protecting people from discrimination. Dallas has an ordinance. Austin has an ordinance. Fort Worth has an ordinance. They want to have a state law that says you can't have that local ordinance protecting people.
Now, I guess my initial response is not to react, but, okay, I would like to know their reasons why.
You have 5 seconds.
No, I have to finish.
All right, we're going to go take a quick break, and we'll let Israel finish when he comes back.
Because I want to know what you have to say.
Thank you.
In the old days, when you wanted a home or auto insurance quote, you called an insurance agency and they would give you a quote from the company they represented. But when you call the Stephen Graves Insurance Agency, Stephen gets quotes from all the companies he represents, bringing you the best coverage at the best possible price. For home or auto,
call 877-599-0808. Stephen Graves Insurance.
Go ahead, Israel. Finish what we were talking about there.
Yeah, so anytime I hear some ridiculous something about to pass or some legislation or a bill or ordinance or anything that just confuses me, my first response is, okay, why? I'm willing to hear why. So when they're throwing these out, do they say, well, yeah, we don't think this should happen because this, or do they just say, no, that shouldn't happen. All right, moving on.
We need to keep the transgender people out of the bathrooms because we have to protect poor little women and innocent children from being molested by sexual predators pretending to be trans women and going in the bathroom.
Because they're trying.
Yeah, because that happens so very often.
Because you hear that all the time in the news.
You don't hear about, like closeted Republican lawmakers getting caught in bathrooms or hotel rooms.
Well, we actually do all the time. Just it's
do
typical.
we? Really?
It's like, oh.
Seriously?
Right.
Oh my
just
goodness.
like, priests molesting kids, it's like the norm.
That never happens.
I know. But, and what's sad is, do we ever really react when we see yet another case? We're like, oh, just another one. And we turn the page, and it's really sad because that's how much it happens, which is terrible.
But the thing is, there are already laws protecting people from sexual predators anywhere, whether it's a public restroom or a private restroom or your home or the mall or anywhere. We have laws that protect people. And making a law that says, well, transgender people can't go in this bathroom, that's not protecting anybody.
Yeah, that's
it's just causing.
Yeah.
And I am not the epitome of femininity. Okay, I've been called sir and boy and young man my whole life, and I avoid using public restrooms.
Do you really?
Absolutely, I do, because I can tell you many times. Oh, there's a guy in the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm sure
That
a lot of
happens
butch
to me.
women are like that.
Yeah,
a
and
lot
I'm
of butch
sure.
women.
And I told somebody, I said, the first time that happens to me, the first time they call security because there's a guy in the bathroom, I think I might have to file a lawsuit against Greg Abbott and Dan Patrick.
I
or something,
would totally
you know?
do that. And I think butch women get that more than gay men, you know, because
You're gonna have to be a really girly gay man.
Yeah,
If
and because I feel like that's a big cause of concern also for, you know, the butch lesbians in our community, because where do you draw that line? You know, just because, so are you basing it off of physicality? Like, you look like a boy, therefore you are a boy, even though that's not how you identify. So it's like, there's no stopping point. Like she
Exactly.
says, you know, Tammy might, you know, it's,
It doesn't matter what my birth certificate says. I don't carry it around with me.
yeah, who cares?
It's
They're-
what somebody thinks I look like.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, we're going to move on because I got a lot of other things to talk about. First thing I want to say. First thing I want
8
to.
hours.
Oh, that's good.
It's been about 3 minutes, right?
Oh, I
since
think
we
it's been
talked?
about 45 seconds. But the first thing I want to point out is that we now have the 12th transgender person murdered in this country since the first of the year. I think 11 of the victims have been transgender women, and I believe they've all been transgender women of color. Not positive about that.
I want to say that they have. I want to say that they have, but
One was initially identified as a transgender woman and referred to as she, but it was actually a transgender man, a female to male trans man who was murdered in Chelsea in New York in April. And there has been one other trans woman who died, but she was attacked last year in November and just recently died in May 16th. But the latest victim actually died in April. Let me find the actual April 9th. Kenny McFadden, and it's spelled Kenne. Kenny McFadden's fully clothed body was floating in the San Antonio River on April 9th. He was found by one of the barge operators, fully clothed. But we didn't know that we had another transgender victim because, as often happens, Kenny was misgendered and dead named in police reports and media reports. And they've just recently, and they initially said that it was accidental. But they've recently come back and said, no, this was a trans woman in the process of transitioning, and it was murder. She was pushed in, drowned. I don't know if killed and then pushed in and drowned, or injured and then pushed in and drowned. But she died of drowning, and it was murder. And they actually have someone in custody.
Oh,
how
good.
could they make such a big mistake from beginning to end is what I don't really understand.
But they go by genitals.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's honestly no rule book anywhere saying
Yeah.
this is what transgender is. I mean, there
Yeah,
isn't.
no, there's not. And I feel like with this bathroom bill, it's just going to make those numbers go up even higher. Like,
No.
It prompts people to hate
Yeah.
and act out on hatred.
Now,
Yeah.
what we can do for our part as artists is create the documentation, whether it be on stage, in a film, on a dance floor,
Okay.
to educate. When I lived in San Francisco, the big project that I did while I was there, and this is how I met my friend Cecilio Asuncion, was to edit his documentary called "What's the Tea," documenting a year in 5 transgender women's lives.
Oh.
And then one scene, they're all around a dinner table, just having food, just having dinner, and they're talking about how even doctors don't know what to tell them about certain things.
Yeah.
It's up to the patient to tell them, and that was the first time that it kind of triggered something, and I thought, oh my God, you're right. There isn't a book that they can go to. Hey, this is what it means to be transgender. This is what
Yeah.
happens to their bodies. no one knows. So for us, at least mentally, to let people know what it means to be transgender, we have to create it because it's kind of new in a way.
But at the same time, you can't just say this is what it means, because it means something different, I think, for every person who is transgender, who you know.
Well, I just mean like
I don't-
the definition of what it
okay.
is, because they still don't know. They're
That's
like,
true.
oh, transvestite. No, that's not a
Yeah.
Oh, they're drag queens. No, they're not. You know, they really don't know. I question a lot of the tenants. Just hey, so just out of curiosity, do
Do
you
you
know the
really?
difference
A
between a
little
drag queen and
informal
a
poll?
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
all the time.
That's all. You need to put like what your findings are like somewhere, because that would be interesting.
20% know what transgender is.
Really?
80% don't. The biggest thing that I think everyone in our community should know is names like Matthew Shepard, Judy Shepard. No one knows who they are outside of my community.
That's insane.
Means nothing to anybody. They're like, we don't know who that is. So we're not succeeding at certain things.
Yeah. Well, I've always thought education is one of the things that we haven't, but I think we also, as the L, the G, and the B, we also need to help our trans sisters and brothers and non-binaries, you know, out. I think, you know, we are vocal, we are, you know, in places where we have platforms and we have access to things and voices that they don't. And I think that we also need to help them out. We need to help rise them up as well.
And on my end, I write roles for drag queens and
yes, you
transgender
do.
women in all of my films, even the one that's coming up, the zombie film. So I'm always wanting to employ and represent positive roles for our community.
We need to be more inclusive as well. Yeah.
And a lot of people in our community need to understand.
I agree, because it's actually kind of amazing how many don't understand, and that just blows my mind.
I heard somebody say that. I've heard this, several somebody say this. Sexual orientation has to do with what's between your legs and what you do with it. Gender identity is what's between your ears. So it's more about your mental state and your mental and emotional being, even spiritual being, rather than your physical sexual being.
Well, I have those conversations with my tenants too. I don't know if I should, but I tell them, I say, I mean, I can have sex with a girl if I wanted to, and everything would work just fine, and everything would happen.
Yeah.
Sure, he says
But
that.
it doesn't. But it doesn't make me straight.
Yeah.
It's where I mentally connect and what I would see as falling in love with. You know, that's what. And then when I tell them that, they're like, "Oh, okay, I kind of get it."
Yeah.
You know,
That's why I'm a gay boy and I love sequins.
Exactly.
Just don't run down the road in Washington
With lipstick smeared.
Lipstick smeared.
at like 2 o'clock on a
Eyelashes a flitter.
Sunday. A flitter. Eyelashes a flitter.
I like that.
I do too. Okay, well, we have 3 minutes and 3.5 minutes left, so I want to talk real quick. And if y'all have anything to add into the calendar of events, let me
Nothing,
know.
I'm sure. We don't talk about
Tonight at Sue Ellen's, Fairway to Equality's Calcutta Caddy Auction. Fairway to Equality is a fundraising golf tournament for the local HRC folks, Human Rights
You
Campaign.
lesbians love golf.
I hate
have-
golf.
Oh.
Gay man.
I would
here.
probably break things and people trying to play. And
Golf
not
is
to mention
boring.
me, I'd probably hurt myself trying to golf. But the caddy auction, they raise a lot of money with the auction itself. That's tonight, 6:30 to 9 at Sue Ellen's. I'm not athletic anymore. Fairway to Equality tournament is tomorrow. That's the actual golf part. I think tonight is just spending money and drinking. And
Always a
tomorrow
good
is-
thing.
Yeah, see,
Drinking
that sounds
and
like a gay
spending
man
money,
thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
And tomorrow is the actual golf tournament, 1 p.m., Bear Creek Golf Club. All right, North Texas Pride. It's a celebration in Collin County from 1 to 9 p.m. at Sagling House. I don't know how to pronounce that. Saigling, Sagling House in downtown Plano. They have all kinds of fun stuff going on there for Pride. That's the Gay and Lesbian Association of North Texas, GALA. All right, East Texas Pride from 3 to 8 p.m. at Heritage Plaza in Longview.
There you go. East
There is a
Texas.
gay bar in Longview. Do y'all know who Psycho Shannon is?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
runs
yeah.
the show right here.
I like that.
Psycho Shannon without a beard. She is DJing at this 3 to 8 p.m.
cool.
and then there's an after party that's at Heritage Plaza in Longview. I told you about the Men Having Babies Surrogacy Conference. Next weekend, Summer Lovin' Gay Bingo at S4.
And that's really fun if you've never been. Definitely, yeah. Gay bingo's a lot of fun.
There's a lot of events going on June 15th through the 19th. Juneteenth. Dallas Southern Pride has a big weekend-long Juneteenth celebration. There's Juneteenth Unity Festival and Pool Party 17th, I believe, at Cedar Canyon DFW Event Center. And another biggie, and I'm going to do my best to make this one, Dallas Wings. Y'all know the Dallas Wings?
Yes, I learned. That's the lesbian. I learned this the last episode. Isn't that the lesbian?
They're not it's not
Sorry. That was my women's.
There you go.
There you go. Women's basketball.
Everybody's gay.
Professional. Yes, everybody's gay. See, you're infecting
it's the
me.
Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA,
See?
Dallas's
Yay.
professional women's basketball team, Dallas Wings.
So
They're
it is a
pretty cool.
lesbian group.
There are lesbians, but
Just,
not
it's
all
like
of them.
softball. I mean,
They are celebrating. Actually, the WNBA overall is celebrating Gay Pride Month
I
with
love
a Pride
that. That's
Night on June
awesome.
16th. The Wings will be at
That's
College
awesome.
Park Center in Arlington. That's their home court. They'll be playing the New York Liberty there. I believe the Liberty are like leading the league right now. Doors open at 6, game at 7. Go to WNBA and look for the Dallas Wings, and you can find tickets online.
Very
That's
nice.
awesome.
On my show before this show, we had a guy named Michael Green, who's an actor, very straight, big, buff, black guy, and he didn't know about Gay Bingo, and he seemed really interested. We're
Yeah.
like, oh, we should go. So
yeah, you definitely need to check it out. It's a fun, and it goes to a good cause. You know, all proceeds go back to the resource center. So that's also
Yay.
programs.
oh,
And
nice.
we are done. We'll be back in a little bit.
Bam.
Yeah. We meant to do that.
Totally.
Hey, we're back, and guess what? We got a whole another 8 minutes. I thought we were done, but we have more time. So we're going to start. I'm going to let Israel and Brandy.
Just me. Little old me.
What
No
happens when-
opinions.
This is your future as an old lesbian. Yours too.
In
When
sequence,
you're an
though.
old, when
I
you're an
wanna
old
be-
lesbian, you're
I
going to
wanna
be
be
like
a
this.
lesbian. I
You
wanna
will.
be-
You will
You're an
be.
honorary.
You're mutating as you age. You just don't know
I'm
it yet.
transitioning.
Yes,
That's
into
right.
lesbianism.
If I transitioned, I would transition into a black woman. I keep telling Alan, who's over there watching, he's married to a black woman. I'm like, Alan, I'm transgender. I'm a sassy black woman
I can
trapped in a
totally see
Latino
that.
man's body. Gay
I
man's
Gay
can
body.
totally
man's
see
body.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've always said I'm a gay man in a lesbian body.
I
could see that.
I'm definitely a gay man
too, yeah.
in a woman's body. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
I just lesbian. I like to sleep with women. That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm not gay. I just sleep with men.
Yeah. See, I feel you.
No, I'm lesbian. Pretty much. Pretty sure about that one. So, talk to us.
Yeah, well, I wanted to tell everyone about our mixer. It is our official launch because it's at Spayse Studios. Get it launched.
Launch.
It's our official launch to our new industry mixers that we're going to have every 4 to 6 weeks, and it's called
What
Fuse.
industry?
Arts and entertainment industry, but we're open to anybody. This is a great way to network. It's an opportunity to meet a lot of people, collaborate with people eventually, and we're going to have drinks and snacks. And it's going to be, like I said, 4 to 6 weeks. It's going to be here at Spayse Studios, and it's tonight from 7 to 10. It's going to be great. It's $3 to get in, unless you put on some type of space sci-fi wear, because
Oh,
the
that's
theme is
cute.
space and sci-fi. So it can be as elaborate as a full, Princess Leia outfit, or like Shannon has over there. What is it? Let me see. He has a T-shirt with Darth Vader, and it says, "Who's your
Who's
daddy?"
your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Nice.
That's
Or it could be
awesome.
like Star Trek ears, pointy ears, or it can just be like a T-shirt like that. Anything, and then you get in for free, just to make it fun. And each one's going to be different. So it's a brand new thing that we're starting, and I really just want everyone to come and see it. Now, the other thing,
So it's basically a cocktail party.
cocktail party for industry people to,
it-
bring your business cards and stuff.
And is it once a month or what? How long? How often?
I was going to say monthly, but it's usually every 4 to 6 weeks, because
Okay.
when you do it monthly, it seems like, oh my God, we just had one.
Gotcha.
Kind of thing. So I'm
Okay.
thinking every 6 weeks.
I think that's smart.
That's
Yeah,
because
that's
when he
fine.
forgets, he can just.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's
I
4
did
to
that on
6 weeks.
purpose.
Yeah.
I did that on
Tammy,
purpose.
you know me too well.
It's like when the cat runs into the glass door. I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Yep. I meant to
All
do
right,
that.
go ahead. Sorry.
And the other thing is, we are starting a new thing. We haven't started promoting it yet. This is the first time I will be announcing it in public.
Dun, 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 dun.
Exclusive.
Yes, but because it's about to originally become summer on June 20th, I want to start having an event in the event room that is sort of like a mock dance club for 16 to 20-year-olds.
Wow.
Aren't you 20? I thought you were 20, Brandon.
I'm 23.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm 27.
That's so cool.
But yeah, because we have our clubs. We have our
Yeah,
instances,
no, I love
and we don't
that.
have anything for young kids. And I thought, you know what, this would be great, because I just came back from seeing my family and going to the graduations, and they all have lock-ins now. They don't have
Oh, yeah.
dances,
Uh-huh.
So I thought
I did some skating rink lock-ins
Yeah,
when I was growing up.
yeah, we did too. It was like casino
love that,
night, and
yeah.
you could actually win stuff. So I
Block-ins. We always call that jail.
This is when
Right?
you were at fun places, not stuck in your
Oh,
parents.
oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
weren't
yeah.
stuck at home. Yeah.
Right. Well, I wouldn't say
No,
that.
I'm at jail.
Being with certain classmates could feel like jail.
You know what? Yes.
Yeah, but I want to do that for the young kids, and I wanted to reach out to like Youth First Texas, or I think there's a group called Fuse. And
You totally should.
yeah, and when you brought up Collin County, I know they have an LGBT youth group as well. So I wanted to reach out to all of them. Not that it would necessarily be a gay group, an LGBT group, but just a mix of everybody that's younger. We would have drinks, of course, non-alcoholic, but having them drinks there, having like a bouncer at the front checking their IDs, because if you're
Yeah.
15, you can't get in. Only 16 to 20.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
and then they come in and just having a good time doing that all summer, like every Saturday night.
That'd be cool.
That's
do you think?
really cool. I like that idea.
Okay.
And I think that it would be a good place for kids who need somewhere to go. And you were talking about it doesn't have to be LGBT, but that's the thing about the young kids. They don't give a rat's ass.
That's what
Yeah,
I
they
think
really
too.
don't.
do not.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. I love how inclusive and just
That's
all
my-
loving. They're like, yeah.
My kids are like that. They don't care. My friends' kids are like that. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they're gay. Oh no, they're fine.
Well, I mean, if we leave nothing for the next generation, at least, we have that. And it helps, like, when you have kids growing up like that are going to push, like, Greg Abbott and all those people out, eventually. So, hopefully.
Yeah, but
You
that's
know.
I started
I
to
think
make a
that's a-
tasteless joke about pushing Greg.
and it's going to be called Sanctuary.
I love that.
Yeah, so
Love
it's like come to this like safe place. But you know how kids are. Anytime I picture 16 to 20-year-olds, I think of Jimmy Fallon doing his little skit of ew.
Is that the
girl-
can?
Everything is ill because they're so over everything, and I'm like, I don't want this to be ill. So I have to reach out to my nieces that just graduated.
Yeah,
my
you need to
nephew.
get
I need to get their perspective on
you
what's
need to get there
cool.
because we would totally be like, yeah,
know,
let's serve
'cause
them
you're
Shirley
23.
Temples. I would be like Shirley Temples for sure, and they'd be like, what is that?
Right,
Like,
right.
It needs to be like
soda.
exactly. Yeah, they're like, bring me whatever they're drinking now. I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
I mean, I'm
I don't
27.
Snapchat. I have no idea.
You're 23.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're
I Snapchat all the
23.
time. I'm 23.
No, I'm 25.
So we're yeah, exactly. So we're out of that loop. We're older. So I need to reach out to them. So if y'all have any ideas after the show, let me know so we can
I think
incorporate
that's a
that.
great idea.
And having chaperones, well, we're gonna call them bouncers. I want to give them a.
A feel of a
Club
club.
feel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
feel,
that's
yeah.
I
And when we promote it, we're gonna say for young adults. We don't want to say kids. We don't want to say teens.
Teens.
No,
yeah,
it's for young adults.
It is. I mean, it's for
That's
young
cool.
adults. I think that's an awesome.
Thank you.
High five. Kudos.
Thank you.
I like you.
You like
again.
me a little more?
I
Okay,
do,
Good.
yeah.
Good.
Just don't let Donald Trump come.
Yeah. I know.
Well, if he
If he
pays,
paid
no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Brandy, go ahead. Tell us what you're doing, Brandy.
What am I? I'm not doing anything
Nothing?
yet. No, no.
No
My
way.
parents actually came last weekend, so I'm trying to just chillax and get back into
I'm
like work
recovering
mode. I'm recovering.
From
Yes.
my
I'm in
parents.
recovery from my parental units coming in and seeing me. So I'm just trying to get resituated and reorganized back into my life.
Gotcha.
So you know how that
And
goes.
on top of that, she is also being fabulous.
always in my sequence.
Every day. Smeared makeup. I want to see pictures of you at the march on Sunday night.
Yeah, I really-
Sequins and smeared
I'm
makeup.
totally gonna come in a whole. I'm gonna make a drag outfit just for you with tattered
make
sequins
sure somebody
and
I
my
want pictures.
eyelashes.
Now,
A
see,
flitter.
A flitter.
Isn't that what you said?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
that would be a great photo shoot of like called it the next day, like
Morning after.
morning
The morning after.
like just like they
Tragic,
just partied
yeah.
their ass off.
Oh, I have some of those pictures. I'm sure. Like you roll over your phone and you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah, accidentally text it to your mother.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, that would be
That would have
terrible.
been
All
horrible.
right. Well, we're gonna have to take a break here. We've got we'll be back for a 2-minute roundup, and we'll just sign off.
The club
then.
roundup. Yeah.
We are back, and apparently I'm paying for things that I don't know about. So we're in our last couple of minutes here for this week's episode. We're gonna wind things up. Israel's been talking a lot. We're gonna let him talk just a little bit more. So.
Yes. Come out to Spayse Studios tonight for our first mixer called Fuse Industry Mixer. It's from 7 to 10. It's $3 unless you come in your sci-fi spaceware, and go to spacestudios.com if you would like to know more about our studio. And if you want your own show, just like this fabulous show, you can email us at spacestudios@gmail.com, SPAYSE.
I'm Brandy Amar Sky, and I'm actually excited because I'm going to be working on a new article for the Dallas Voice, and I'm covering Mr. Gay America. That's happening July 2nd, Sunday at the Rose Room. And this is a male pageant. Male entertainer drag pageant, so I'm really excited about it. Yeah, we have 2 local boys, Michael Lemasters and Patrick Michaels, both
You have
competing.
my attention.
Exactly. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be coming
That's
out
cool. That's
the last
I'm looking
June.
forward to that one.
What do they do like for talent?
They actually like Prince, like they do the same thing that drag queens do. They're just
Male.
boys.
Like
Did you say prance?
Prince. Well, they prance too. I mean,
I'm sure they
prancing is a
prance.
real, it's a big part of drag. Yeah. Oh yeah, we all
It
prance.
makes me think of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
If
that
they
I mean,
were
it's
a
a queer
Randall,
thing.
they'd be
We're Prince,
Prancer.
Yeah.
Makes me think of that really weird exercise video. You know, from
Oh, the
little
Prancer
skinny-
size? I met her.
I
I met
love
the
it.
Prancer size lady
I
at
love her.
Up for
She-
Whatever when Bud Light did that Up for Whatever in Crested Butte, Colorado. I was there with Jenna.
That woman gives me nightmares. It's-
I didn't Prancer size. I'm way too talented for that.
Okay, we're winding down here. I'm Tammy Nash. I'm the managing editor for Dallas Voice, and you can find us online at dallasvoice.com. You can also find the email, nash@dallasvoice.com, and phone numbers there. Give us a call.
Pick
Thank
up your
y'all.
new voice. Thank you.
Yay. Have a great weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.